Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and in this video, and perhaps the start of a small series, I'm not sure just yet, but in this video, I want to talk about characters that need buffs for Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 3, which is not too far away now. And the first character I want to talk about, first and foremost over everyone, is indeed Jiren. So I've never subscribed to the theory that the character strength in this game has to be anywhere related to their strength in the show, right? Because then characters like Videl and Yamcha and Krillin become basically useless because they're weak in the show, and that doesn't mean they should be weak in the game, right? And vice versa, if they're strong in the show doesn't mean they should be strong in the game. But Jiren, considering his status in Dragon Ball Super as basically the end boss of the series and all that, I feel he's been done a bit rotten in this game. For someone who's supposed to be the strongest mortal there is, you have to tap into the power of the gods to fight this quote-unquote mere mortal. The fact that he is where he is in this game, I find more than a bit of a bummer. Jiren is a character I think is definitely in line for buffs come Season 3, but let's talk about the things that should be buffed, the things that just, aren't the way they need to be right now. So Jiren is not completely without merit, just mostly without merit. He's got a good down M. His assist is admittedly a pretty good assist, like straight up, it is a really good assist. Maybe not top 5 assists or nothing, but it's pretty good, right? But yeah, Jiren doesn't have much going for him. And the things you think should be, big feathers in the cap, they're kind of worthless. So let's start with one of the big ones here. So Jiren is, by design, meant to be a more defensive character, considering he has like this whole suite of counters and all that, right? And the issue is, they're really bad. So let's take the projectile parry here. The idea here is like basically, hey, if they're just throwing stuff at you, okay, haha, gotcha. How dare you throw projectiles at me? I'm Jiren. You're done. Well, except there's the fact that you literally never have to respect it. So, something like this here. Oh, Jiren got me, right? Well, no, not really. Oh, he's going to do his thing? Cool. I just vanish out, and that's all she wrote about that. You can literally do this on reaction. There is nothing holding you in place for Jiren to actually nail his counter, right? And that's just the most basic level. You can make this a lot more painful for Jiren than just that. So off anything where you see him countering your projectile, you know he's going to come, right? Well then, hey, I'm just going to level 3 you. And guess what? You teleport right into my level 3, and that's all she wrote, right? So you can do this with basically anybody, and for a lot of characters that have aerial level 3s, it's just even worse. So this is an overwhelming example, but still, it is a perfectly apt example. So Jiren, hey, you're going to come at me and you're going to teleport at me, right, bud? Well, about that. Okay, come follow me up here, friend. And teleport right into this raw spirit bomb. And a lot of characters can do stuff like this, right? Basically, anyone with a level 3, as soon as you catch Jiren doing that pose, go right into your level 3, and he has to follow into it. Sometimes, depending on the movie, you can actually, as Jiren, vanish before anything, to catch their vanish, if you have the bar. But yeah, these are situations here, like, basically, what is the point of this move when there's so much counterplay and the reward is so little? So how do we fix something like this, right? Where the move is just obviously mega flawed. And the answer already exists in the answer of Janemba, because Janemba has a similar move, and for Janemba, he's just basically invincible until the move's complete. So you can't hit him out of it, you can't do whatever, he's gonna be able to finish the move, right? And I think Jiren should be much the same. So, unless you just want to wildly change how the move works, at the very least, when he does it and he goes for his gotcha, then you can't hit him out of it. Maybe you won't be there because you vanished or whatever. There's options to still get out of it, but it's more of a threat that Jiren at the very least gets to complete the move without the threat of getting kicked in the head because of a vanish or getting level 3 or just anything else, right? So this move is mostly a dead move. It is mostly useless. And a simple change like that, making it invincible till the move is over at the very least, could make it a lot more viable. Or hey, you know what? Make it so the capture state is much quicker than it currently is, so then there just truly is no escape. You hit it, you screwed up, he's going to get you, end of story. Either way, it makes the move a lot more viable. Now, let's talk about another inherent liability of Jiren. So Jiren does not have a standard heavy attack like everyone else. His standing heavy attack is a true command grab. And here's the issue with that. So one, he loses the ability to have a stand heavy like everyone else, which, you know, whatever. You'd think maybe the utility of the command grab would make up for it, but hey, it doesn't. It comes in at a wretched 28 frames. This is a slow grab, to say the least. So once again, 28 frames. And since his command grab is a normal, not even a special move, it's so baked into his moveset, it's a normal, you could say he's like basically a potential grappler style character, right? So let's bring in some other grappler style characters. So big old OG Broly has a quick grab, 17 frames, and his slow armored combo starting command grab is 24, which is 4 frames faster than what Jiren has. And this is the one everyone's like, oh, this is too slow. This one's too slow. And Jiren has one slower yet. Let's bring in Dragon Ball Super Broly. Oh, also 24 frames. Everyone's like, oh, this one's too slow, and Broly needs a faster one. Now, no one likes the fact that, and myself included, no one likes the fact that he has this slow 24 frame grapple. And Jiren, once again, baked into his literal moveset, not even a special move grapple, 28 frames. And it's slower than the slow grapples for the other grappler style characters. So that's messed up. Like, you're not getting anything off this outside of the corner, and just like the other characters too, right? And theirs are just faster and better. So, basically, point of order, this needs to be changed. This absolutely has to be faster than it is, because it's pretty much a joke as it stands. Jiren would be in a much better position if he just didn't have this, and he had a regular heavy attack like every other character. So, yeah, the one thing about this move that needs to be changed is it needs to be quite a bit faster. Now, how much faster? Well, at the very minimum, at least 24 frames, so 4 frames faster than it is. That's at the minimum, in my opinion, right? But since it's baked into the moveset, honestly, if it was like closer to 20 frames, I wouldn't complain. Like, this is a defining aspect of the character, like, hey, you don't get a regular heavy attack, you get a grapple instead. And for him, it's basically not worth doing outside of certain corner combos. That's it, right? So this is another thing that absolutely needs to be changed and absolutely has to be better. Now, another move that can stand to be a lot better than it currently is the Grand Charge. Honestly, I only ever really see this move when people are trying to do touch-death combos. That's about it, right? So, nominally on paper, it's an anti-projectile move, except it really sucks at it, because it runs out of defensive frames that get rid of projectiles, usually well before the projectiles are actually over. So, as you can see here, I'm holding back after every time. And most of the time, I'm going to get smacked out of it and not going to be able to block, because the move sucks at its intended use. So, how do we make this move better? Well, one, it should go quite a bit further. Like, Jiren is a character that could definitely benefit from, you know, more speed. He's a quick guy, if you ever watched the show, right? And the fact this move just goes the distance it does, just like, whatever. So, like, if you're trying to use it as an anti-projectile, it's basically only an anti-projectile move from, like, the range it can hit at. Anything past that, you're pretty much wasting your time, honestly. And on top of that, this move can stand to have actual armor, not just projectile armor. Jiren, as, you know, to the show, is a tough guy. He can tank some hits, right? And yes, he has the parries, and those are cool, even though the EX one's pretty much the only one that's worth using, because the other ones having the startup they do usually gets you killed. But honestly, you can give this move, let's say, a single hit armor. So it makes it more comparable to DBS, Broly, Android 16, stuff like that, right? Giving a single hit of true armor on top of the projectile reflect and making it travel more than like the little dandy step he does here, right? This is something that make the move a lot more valuable and actually be used at all in real match play other than just touch of death combo videos, right? Because this move, it sucks, and there's so much more they can do, and it's not hard changes to make. So for me, my opinion, hey, make it go further. So against basic key blasts, he can actually, you know, cover the distance versus just falling short and getting hit. So make it go further and give it an actual hit armor so you can use it in much ways some of the more bigger characters use their charge style moves. Because hey, Jiren's tough, he can take a hit. So yeah, those are some of the really big changes I'd like to see for Jiren. Some other small stuff I'd like to see too. I'd like to see the range on jump jab here, jump light, extended forward a bit. Compounded with the fact that, you know, his grab sucks, which should be buffed. He has no low-hitting down light. He's basically got no real ways to open you up other than just, plain old counter hits. So at the very least, like, give him an option to cross up with, because jump medium, well, the range isn't good on that, right? So at least a jump light, just a slight range advantage on that would help a bit. Plus, it'd help him air to air a bit, because his air to air is not amazing. But yeah, Jiren is not the best Jiren can be right now. I think anyone would agree on that, right? He's the poster boy of Dragon Ball Super. He's the end boss of Dragon Ball Super, and while that shouldn't necessarily correlate to tiers or buffs or anything in this game, I think the game has done him a bit dirty, to say the least, right? So that's my ideas. And hey, do you have any ideas, What changes would you like to see for Jiren in Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 3 coming up? Let me know. Post in the comments, please. I want to talk about it. I want to save our boy. But other than that, I guess that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.
This is the love.